So I just came back from the emergency room, the hospital, and they tried to kill my daughter again today. And my daughter actually passed out, and I'm going to be showing footage of all of this. The thing is, the Lord already let me know what they've been doing, and this has been going on for the longest because they try to cover up the violations, the abuse, the assaults that have been happening to my daughter. This is one of the reasons why they first took my children out of the home and put them in foster care. We're going back to the same situation. These two agents who were sent by Satan on an assignment to destroy my children, destroy our lives. They're trying to get rid of my children. And I'm just gonna let you see the footage because my daughter was sitting here. Actually, she started with a fit of coughing and I knew who it came from. It was like I posted on this video before, I posted on this channel, and I talked to you all about how I was choking and coughing. I kept coughing out of nowhere, and then when I posted the video, it stopped. But my daughter was choking for the last few days. She went first to the hospital. They took her to the emergency room, and they didn't find anything. They did chest x-rays and everything, and they just gave her prescriptions, some antibiotics to clear whatever phlegm was in her throat. But the antibiotics wasn't working. None of the stuff she took was working for her. They cannot find anything really wrong, so they just prescribed some medication for her, and it didn't really help. She was coughing and choking all day, as I showed you footage earlier with us in the car. We ended up going out. She was in the car. She had her bucket with her because she kept vomiting. She would not eat anything. She was vomiting up clear liquid, clear phlegm and fluid or whatever, just spit. And so on the way back, when we were out, we went somewhere. We decided to take her because we had already purchased the tickets and we thought she'd be okay. We just took her bucket with her. When we came back in the way on the car, my daughter just started coughing.
Get off her neck now.
And not only was she coughing, she started choking and gasping for breath. She was holding her neck like she could not get air, like something was squeezing. She said she felt it squeezing. And if you remember this video right here, that is when we were in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. That is the exact same thing, but my daughter said this time it was worse. It was worse because she could not get any oxygen. My daughter actually passed out. I'm about to show you the evidence in the footage here. And as you can see, my daughter was completely unresponsive when the ambulance came. They said she was unresponsive. They put her inside the truck, in the ambulance truck, and they would not allow me in there. They kept me outside for a while until I guess they got her stable. They brought her back to conscious. And then when we were getting ready to leave, it took probably about 5 to 10 minutes. And they called me back. I never went back there with my daughter. They told me to sit in the front. So I don't know what they did, but they were able to revive her. She was brought back to consciousness. I give the glory and thanks to God and those who responded, the paramedics. They were very helpful. These people were desperately trying to destroy my daughter and take her out of here. They really tried to kill her. That was attempted murder. You just witnessed an attempted murder. It was in a spiritual realm. This was a spiritual attack. The Lord let me know that this has been going on, first of all, ever since my daughter was in Canton, Ohio, when she was in foster care. They did not want her to come home. I told you that before. They did not want her to come home. They wanted to keep her there. They did not want her with me because this man wanted to cover up what he has done. They still think that, he still thinks that there's going to be a union between me and him. He did things and violated my children, violated my daughter, did things to her. All this was covered up. Like I said, these are very elite people we're dealing with. They were on assignment to come into our lives and destroy us. And this man wants to cover it up. There are people protecting him, people protecting the woman who's working with him, who has been coming up against me and my children, my family. Not only that, the Lord was letting me know that they really wanted to keep my daughter. They were mad because she wanted to come home. They wanted to keep her. I told you this all along because they offered her up. They were initiating her. The Lord let me know they were trying to basically have her as part of the kingdom of darkness. This is what they do. They target special needs children, children with disabilities, because they're more easily influenced and vulnerable, and they can control and manipulate them. They wanted her to go down there and stay down there. They wanted her to go to Walsh University. They wanted her to go to that college down there. They wanted basically her never to come home. This is why they wouldn't allow her to have visits. They were cutting her visits. They put her on all this medication, told her everything she was saying was lies, kept her down there, would not let her see me and her family, told her not to call us. They sent my son home, but they kept my daughter. They did not want to bring my daughter home, but I fought and prayed and God brought her home. My daughter came home when she reached, after she graduated from high school. It was her decision. She decided to come home. They did not want that. And so ever since then, they were making her ill. When she came home, like I said, I was posting pictures, videos here when she had the diabetes. Her glucose kept dropping out of nowhere. As you can see all that video and footage that was on this channel. So my daughter just passed out. And she's been eating. She had her meal tonight. She had chicken, rice, and some vegetables. We just gave her an apple. I gave her a whole apple. I gave her a can of, fruit, and her sugar keeps dropping. We're at 70. And so, you know, this is an attack. The Lord already let me know it's a spiritual attack. And when I started recording it, her glucose will go right back up. They were doing all kinds of things to attack her. They've been attacking my daughter for years. As you can recall, this video here, when she was vomiting. She was vomiting nonstop. Ever since this man has come into my life, all these people, these agents of Satan, and the entire elite network that has come up against me, ever since God had me doing his work, they have been relentlessly trying to destroy my daughter, and they've been relentlessly trying to cover up the abuses that have been happening by this man and woman who've attacked and violated my daughter. Not only that, but the Lord also let me know, as you all recall, I had posted a video on my channel a while ago because I had filed for SSI for my daughter because she was on SSI for several years before she was put in foster care. And when they put her in foster care, they took her off for some reason. They cut her off. And so when she came back home, I wanted to get her back on there so she could have her own money. She could have her check because she was not working or anything. And she wanted her check. She was supposed to have her disability check. She had it for years. And so when I first filed for her to receive her check, they had set up an appointment for us so they can evaluate her and check her condition. The appointment got canceled out of nowhere. And the Lord let me know that they were doing this. It was part of the organization, government, everybody was coming up against us. And this man in the background, all these people calling the shots. And so they denied her. They denied her claim. They didn't even allow her to go to her appointment. So I filed an appeal. And I posted it on my YouTube channel. I showed all the evidence of her being disabled. She had been disabled for a long time, for years. I showed how they had just abruptly canceled her appointment that they had scheduled for her. And I filed that appeal. And we recently had an appointment, and they don't want to give her SSI. They don't want to give her, they owe her a lot of back money. They don't want to give it to her. They know she's disabled. And they're trying to deny it. They're trying to deny paying her money. And also this woman who continues to assault me, who I made videos about relentlessly, she is continuously in my life and my daughter's life have attached herself to our soul by using sorcery and witchcraft, binding herself to our souls. She's always around here. She's envious of the love that I give to my children. These are people who have not received the love. I guess they did not feel loved enough by their families, and they're jealous. They're taking out their wrath. The Lord let me know she's taking her anger out upon my daughter because my daughter is loved. I love my children and I nurture them. Things that they have not received. We don't have time for this because you've been abused or whatever has happened to you in your youth and you're 40 and 50 years old. We're not here to coddle you. If you need healing, you're supposed to go to God, not attack and destroy my daughter. So that's what's going on right now. That is another reason that the Lord brought to my attention while they're trying relentlessly to destroy my daughter. But see, God is in control. He is in authority. And so since you did that, you attempted to murder my child. Because see, if this stuff would have happened in the physical realm, anybody who have done all these things, making my daughter ill, assaulting us, attempting to murder us, trying to kill us, persecuting us, violating us, you would have been in jail by now. If this stuff would have happened to anybody in the physical realm, these people would have been in jail. But since they're doing it in the spiritual realm, they think they can get away with it. But there is a judge. There is a God, and there is a judge of judgment and justice who has seen everything you've done. And he says in his Bible that you will reap what you have sown. Be not deceived, for God is not mocked. Whatsoever man soweth, that shall also reap. You've been violating and destroying my child, oppressing her, mistreating her, assaulting her since she was a little girl. And my daughter said, well, maybe it's best if she dies, because she's tired of living like this. She has been in and out of the hospital. She has been tormented. Our family have been tormented by these people. So I hope that you're prepared to receive what it is that you've dished out by God. Because he already said he has to honor his word. He will watch over his words to perform it. He's not a man that he should lie. And his word says what it says. And I'm going to be every day going to him to avenge me of my adversaries every single day. And don't think that if you kill me and murder me, that it's going to be better. Don't think that if you kill or murder my children, it's going to be better for you. Because he already said, as you're for death, death. That is what the scripture says. If you're for death, death. That's what it says. If you're for captivity, captivity. You took my kids out of this house. You did everything to cover it up. You attacked and assaulted me and my children. You covered up for this man who came in and violated me and my family and would refuse to leave us alone. This woman who's been holding on to our lives. All the stuff that you have done. God is here. He's a God of judgment and justice. I thank those who've been sitting here faithfully helping us pray. I am giving God the glory today. I'm giving him the glory.